Hey guys, welcome to the Northwoods of Minnesota. It is a pretty cold day. We're down at the 0 to 3 degree range, and I'm just making my way through the woods here to try to find a spot to set up camp. Right now I'm just kind of searching for that perfect spot to dig our trench. So we'll keep looking. Oh yeah. Look at that. The snow is up to my knees. It's definitely gonna go lower than that too. So this is gonna be home. All right, guys, we got to get to our tarp, so we're going to start pulling gear out. We've got a pot for making our dinner later, a sleeping bag. This thing is rated down to 20 below. That is going to be crucial today. And we've got an insulated sleeping pad. The key word there is insulated. This thing is going to keep us off of that cold ground, and that will also be extremely crucial. We'll talk more about that in a bit here. Last but not least, we've got our heavy duty canvas tarp. This is an 8x10. It's the perfect size for our snow trench. And now that we've got it kind of stretched out, we're gonna put it over our shelter and then dig some snow around it to kind of settle it in so it's more a part of the overall structure. Watch as I push down. The middle starts to get much more tension in it. That is helping a lot. So we kind of dig it in, push it down. Now this is the crucial part, you guys. We need to make a space for us to be able to crawl into this. So I'm not gonna bury this side of the tarp. I'm gonna have it so I can just roll it out, and we're gonna make a little doorway to be able to get in. Well, that's it, you guys. I think the next thing for us to do is to crawl in there and test it out. Well, guys, this is it. Honestly, for as tight as it is in here, this is doing its job very well. I'm out of the wind. I can definitely feel, because of that windbreak, I'm much warmer. And it's definitely a good quality shelter in a pinch. Again, this is not made to go out and hold up for days on end. This is an emergency shelter. This is really built to make it through a night. Not too shabby. Am I crazy or what? Ugh. Now that our shelter is basically put together, we have to get a fire going because we're gonna need some dinner tonight, and also it's gonna give us some heat while we just hang out until nightfall. Okay, so while we wait for the fire to get super hot, we're gonna set up our sleeping pad. Now, I didn't bring this pad because I needed some extra comfort or whatever. This is already gonna be pretty rough. What I brought it for is that it is insulated. So what that's gonna do is it's gonna keep my body off of the cold ground. Now, if you're in a true survival situation and you don't have an insulated sleeping pad with you, you're gonna wanna create a bed of insulation with anything you can find. Leaves, pine needles, really build up a solid base at the bottom of your trench. All right, so our fire is definitely ready for some cooking. We've got some nice hot coals there. I just brought some good old-fashioned tomato soup that we're gonna pour into this pan. We'll set it on the fire, let it cook. And honestly, all we're really doing is heating it up. But to make things a little more interesting, I've got some cheese and some crackers that we're gonna add to it. And it's gonna be a nice supper. All right, I'm gonna get our pot on top there. And all we have to do is pour in the soup. While that heats up, we're gonna add all of our nice, tasty fixings to our mug. Look at that. Okay, the soup is bubbling, so I'm gonna take it off of the fire and we'll pour into our nice mug of goodness here. Nice hot soup on a winter's day in the middle of the Northwoods. Come on, doesn't get much better than this. Oh. That is so good. It warms the soul. Oh. I've said this before, there's just nothing quite like cooking your food over a fire. Always tastes better. That was good. But now that we're finished, it's time to wait for the sun to set so we can get some shut-eye. Well, guys, the sun has set. Honestly, for the past couple hours, I have been right here, just kind of basking in the warmth of the fire. The shelter's looking a tad icy, but I know as soon as I get into my sleeping bag, I'm gonna warm up. It's hard to leave the warmth of the fire, but after spending most of the day out here in these cold temperatures, my body's feeling drained and I think I can fall asleep. So I'm gonna make my way into our shelter and try to get some shut-eye. All right, so I'm gonna take the sleeping bag out and get it into the trench. One of the harder things to do is getting your boots off and getting into your sleeping bag without tracking in a bunch of snow, because yeah, it's not like there's a floor in there. It's snow everywhere. So we're gonna do our absolute best. I am going to crawl in there wearing my snow pants and my jacket, and I'm going to try to sleep like this all night. These pants are great. They don't hold on to moisture, So I think I can get in there without dragging in a bunch of water or something. All right, I got one of my boots off and one leg into the sleeping bag. Second boot is off and second leg is in the bag. Now what I have to do is kind of brush off my bottom side to make sure I'm not dragging in any snow. And crawl in. All right, guys, so I am in the sleeping bag. I'm just gonna close down the tarp now. Okay, guys. I feel great. This thing definitely keeps that wind chill out, and I can already feel my body warming up in the sleeping bag. If you were doing this in a survival situation and you didn't have a sleeping bag or sleeping pad, you're not going to have a nice night, but being out of the wind like this will definitely help you to survive. And that's what it's really about. Like, this is a survival shelter, not something that you do to be comfortable, you know? So I'm feeling good about it. So I think it's time to shut off the cameras, try to get some sleep. See you guys in the morning. Good night. Good morning, guys. Oh, it is so cold. I want to say the temperature dropped 20 some degrees overnight. Oh, it's definitely below zero. I stayed warm, but it was really uncomfortable. You can see that my breath has made this all freeze over. Let's get out of here. Oh. Oh. Oh my goodness. Why do I do the things that I do, you guys? Woo! We did it. We survived the trench. Oh my goodness. Sleeping in there last night, it was tolerable. There was nothing necessarily fun about it, but it's incredibly rewarding and invigorating to know that I can build a shelter in the middle of winter and survive a night. I think it's a skill that anyone should have if they're living in an area that has winters that are this brutal, because you never know when you're gonna get into a situation where you need to know how to do this. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something about winter survival. I know I certainly did. It is not easy, and you want to do everything you can to not get into a situation where you need to build a shelter like that. But it was fun nonetheless, and we'll see you next time.